mom got her minivan high-centered on a rock when I was in high school. I actually might have been in junior high. All I remember is I couldn't drive yet. Me and 2 of my close friends had plans to go hang out with some boys that night. Keep in mind, we're only 15 and completely boy crazy. Of course, we're trying to act cool to impress these boys. The last thing we want to do is embarrass ourselves. I know we had fun, but I can't think of anything significant that happened until like midnight when my mom came to pick us up. And as soon as we got in the car to leave, she starts telling me and my friends that she knows a shortcut. She goes, after I dropped you guys off, I saw this little dirt trail. It's like a shortcut. It saved me like 10 minutes on the way home, so let's take that on the way back. If you know my mom, this is even funnier because she's terrible with directions. But sure enough, she comes to this spot where there is a dirt road, so she starts driving down it. We get about 5 minutes down the road, and my mom starts to notice that the road is a little bit more narrow than she remembered, but she just brushes it off and we keep driving down it. Finally, the road comes to this part where it's a huge drop off. So my mom was like, yeah, I don't think this is the road that I was using last time, so I'm just gonna back up and turn around. We'll just go the regular way home. The second that she backs up, we start hearing this screeching sound, but that doesn't stop my mom. She just keeps going. And then all of a sudden, when she's pushing on the gas, nothing's happening. Like, you can hear the wheels moving, but it's not touching the ground. And turns out the minivan is high-centered on a giant boulder. None of the wheels are touching the ground. But then we look over in the distance and there's lights on at somebody's house. Keep in mind with how late it is, it's completely dark outside, so all we're seeing is lights in this building. And my friends and I start looking at each other and we're like, wait, that's the boy's house we were just at. We were quite literally in his backyard. The second that realization hit, we were all mortified. My mom just kept calling my dad frantically, hoping that he would answer, and we all just sat there in stunned silence. And then finally, me and my friends were like, we should just call him and tell him that we're in his backyard. He was like, what do you mean you're in my backyard? Turns out we were on a motorcycle trail, and the huge drop-off was actually a bike jump. He tells us he's gonna go get his dad so they can come check out what's going on. And I just remember them being like speechless, looking at the minivan and being like, how did it get on this giant rock? So then his dad was like, I'm gonna go get my truck, we're gonna have to pull you off. And in the meantime, my dad had answered the phone and was on his way. My dad told us later that when he was on his way up to come get us, he passed the boy's dad in his truck and they started talking. And he gets out of his truck to come to my dad's window to talk to him closer, and their truck starts rolling down the hill. So he starts running after it down the hill and he's yelling at his son to push on the brakes. Just pure chaos. They ended up getting that under control, and then my dad came up and pulled out the minivan. Every once in a while we bring up that story to my mom and just laugh our heads off. But I was so mortified, I don't think I ever went back to that boy's house again.